New measurements and observations bring me back to Atlas. I returned Atlas to the center of scientific interest, not because of rumors or speculation, but as a result of a specific sequence of outcomes that calls for urgent review of everything we believed we were aware of regarding this interstellar visitor. The most up-to-date post-perihelion pictures show a small nucleus lacking the anticipated massive, precision astrometric tail. Yet lateral measurements indicate displacement and forces other than gravitational acceleration forces that remain difficult for our current comprehension of comet physics. However, there is a more disturbing aspect taking place behind the scenes. Sudden space-related administrative changes, public reports on strategic agency firings, and escalating speculation regarding political reasons for withholding or releasing high-resolution images could change everything. On November 4, 2025, President Trump made an announcement that was noticed by the scientific community, seemingly by accident. In his own words on his social network, Trump announced NASA's replacement of Administrator Shaw Duffy with billionaire Jared Isaacman. The timing was noticed by many. People began to say that this replacement occurred immediately following a controversial tweet exchange with Kim Kardashian, a coincidence that sparked concern within the astronomical community. Was this merely an administrative change? Or is there a more substantial issue at play regarding Atlas observations? As everyone waits for the end of the U.S. government shutdown and for the publication of the best images of Atlas taken by the rooftop camera, something remarkable has occurred. The National Space Administration of China broke the silence. China published images retrieved on October 3, 2025, from a distance of 28.96 million kilometers, taken by the Tianwen-1 Mars orbiter. These are not amateur photographs, they are data from reputable scientific instruments from one of the most advanced nations in space exploration. Tianwen-1, which entered orbit around Mars in February 2021, used its high-resolution camera HiRISE-like instrument possessing a 38.7 cm primary mirror. Though slightly lower in resolving power than the 50 cm aperture camera used in American space observatories, the Chinese images are revolutionary. China released an image of Atlas displaying a coma surrounding the nucleus measuring several thousand meters in diameter. Even more impressively, Chinese scientists produced an animation of Atlas's movement through the Martian sky, based on a series of images lasting 30 seconds that record the object's real-time motion. Then came an unexpected turn. A U.S. Congresswoman openly revolted. On her social channel, she released a statement confirming what many suspected, greater than. Just had a pleasant conversation about Atlas with NASA. When the government reopens, they will release data and images. Sadly, due to bureaucratic reasons, this cannot occur before then. Dr. Avi Loeb of Harvard was correct in his initial assessment of this bizarre story. This was also acknowledged by NASA. I'm sure this will be one of many interstellar objects we will now be able to monitor. Technology has come a long way. This statement is explosive for a number of reasons. First, it confirms NASA identified the same anomalies Loeb identified. Second, it implies numerous additional anomalous interstellar objects exist beyond public knowledge. Third, it acknowledges that crucial data is being withheld for administrative reasons. The figures are accurate. Models incorporating the latest observations using the same parameters as before point to two important changes in Atlas's trajectory. 1. An explained lateral shift. The object displayed significant differences in lateral position compared to previous forecasts, with no significant vertical displacement suggesting a specific and pattern-controlled movement. 2. Non-gravitational constant acceleration. The acceleration persists, though reduced by about 1/3 of the initial value reported after perihelion. Even at a lower level, the acceleration remains statistically significant and unexplained by conventional gravitational forces. Technically, this indicates additional components of acceleration in the A1 orbital plane and A2 lateral parameters, while A3 radial remains near zero. In physical terms, forces are acting without lifting the object vertically from its plane of motion. The paradox of 5 billion tons, this is where physics becomes impossible to ignore. The conventional explanation for non-gravitational acceleration in comets is the rocket effect from mass ejection. Using momentum conservation and typical cometary gas ejection velocities hundreds of meters per second. Physical estimates suggest Atlas should have lost over approximately 13% of its mass near perihelion, billions of tons of gas and dust forming a huge coma visible even to small observatories. Yet post-perihelion images do not show this. The nucleus appears compact and the coma is faint. Reducing the estimated mass loss alleviates the acceleration requirements quantitatively, but does not solve the central problem. We observe non-gravitational acceleration with no matching mass loss or cometary cloud. Traditional calculations and chemical models fail. There is non-gravitational acceleration and no corresponding physical explanation. Preliminary, spectroscopy, and comparative analyses reveal traces that defy explanation. Nickel predominance with almost complete absence of iron and a carbon monoxide 2, water ratio extremely elevated, signatures compatible with rare volatile compounds possible as byproducts of industrial processing such as nickel tetracarbonyl. These readings are surprising for a body originating from cold and primitive regions of space, regions that tend to produce objects rich in ice and with typical rocky composition.